Well, among the significant things, one of the important things is and followers, make them one group and move them in one place, and then what? And then I ungroup what? Well, also among the important things, what if we create a new slide? So you can also see the advantage of the group, for example, which is I brought, for example, any shape from the shapes that you see, any shape, right? And I said here, okay, this shape you can what, which is it? I brought any shape from the shapes, any shape, and I said to it here, this shape, you can do what? It's inside the frame and can't move, it can't go outside of what? This part, and this is an example of something that can't go outside. Now, create a group. He is inside the frame, unable to move. He is unable to get out. Why? This part, it is like he is unable to get out at all. So this is the important point for me. Create a group now. All right. So when I want to move it again, I don't want it to move either. So what should I do? Well, yes, there's another option. Right click on it and tell it what. I read it twice in a row. So I wasn't dealing with the smart art, right? And then I right click again. Yeah, I can ungroup it, ungroup these parts, and I can work with each part individually. If I'm presenting, I like to work with each part separately. So, regarding how to deal with smart art, how do I work with it like this? I hope this point is clear. Right click on the shape, right click on the group, and then go back and right click on the shape again to select it. Group ungroup, is that what it's called? Okay. Our last slice, literally. We're going to do here. This is the last explanation before we take our first project for this slide. When you want to create a rectangle, create another rectangle that branches out from a specific arrow, and so on. So what does that mean? I came here and I'm dealing with a rectangle shape. We're talking about shapes. Here's the shape tool and can write something specific between them. And I did this and took what another shape like this and took another shape. So what does that mean? For example, I came here and I'm working with a rectangle shape. Of course, we're talking a lot about shapes. Here's the shape tool, and we can write something specific between them, and then I did this and took what? Another shape like this, and then I took another shape. Here it is, right? This, another shape, here it is. Okay, I can use Ctrl-D to take a third shape here. I can also use Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V to add another shape. Main idea is to create arrows that go down and come from here. What's the idea? I go to Insert, select Shape, and choose Line. I want the line to come like this or that, making a line or arrow. I want to make an arrow from here to there, so I go to Insert, Shape, select the arrow, and do it. No, that doesn't work. The feature I'm telling you about is Lock Drawing Mode, a nice feature in PowerPoint. How does it work? I come to my shape. I go to Insert, select Shape, then Line. A line like this. I want this line to come like this or that, making a line or arrow. Point is to create an arrow like this. I want to make an arrow from here to there, so I go to Insert, Shape, and say, what about this arrow? And draw it. No, that doesn't work. That's why the feature is called Lock Drawing Mode, a nice feature in PowerPoint. How does it work? I select the shape. Okay, I want to create an arrow from here to there. So every time I have to go to Insert, then Shape, and say, what about this arrow? And draw it like this. No, that doesn't work. That's why the feature I'm telling you about is called Lock Drawing Mode. This is a really nice feature available here in PowerPoint. How does Lock Drawing Mode work? I come here to my shape, and I come to the shape. All right, this is the shape, and I right click on it. I mean, it's not just that I select it. No, I right click, and when I right click, a feature called lock drawing mode will appear. You have a drone mode. What does it mean? I lock it, meaning I pull this line and keep using it all the time till I tell it I don't want it. I don't have to go and get a line every now and then and make a line and make an arrow. No. So I come to the shape, right click and lock it. Then I create the arrow and another line. After locking, I press escape to end the process. I can also do something else. For example, I come to my shape like this triangle, right click and lock it. Why? Because I'm drawing a triangle for students and want to draw more without repeating the process. I don't want to keep going to insert, then shape and drawing it repeatedly. I want to draw 3 or 4 triangles next to each other. So I go to insert, shape, select the triangle, right click and lock it to draw multiple triangles. I've locked the triangle to work with it continuously. I can come to my shape, this triangle, and lock it. Why? Because I'm drawing a triangle for the students, and then I want to draw another triangle. I want to avoid repeating the process. I want to draw multiple triangles, so I lock the shape to draw them easily. Then I can lock another shape, like a rectangle, and draw multiple rectangles. So that's the advantage of using something called lock drawing mode. No, I want to draw 3 or 4 triangles. So I go to insert, then shape, and select the triangle, right click and say lock because I want to draw a triangle here, and then draw another triangle and a third triangle. Why? Since I pulled the shape, locked it, and said, you will stay with me and I will work with you until I no longer need you, or I can just press escape on the keyboard to stop. Then I can go back to insert or get another shape, like a rectangle, lock it, and then I can draw a rectangle. Once I'm done with the rectangles, I press escape. So that's the advantage of using something called lock drawing mode. Until I no longer need you, or I can just press escape on the keyboard to stop. Then I can go back to insert or get another shape like a rectangle and say lock. And then I can draw a rectangle and another rectangle and another rectangle. Once I'm done with the rectangles, I press escape. So that's the advantage of using something called lock drawing mode. Lock drawing mode. And these things will benefit you when you're explaining something in PowerPoint to the students. Okay, we've finished the last slide. We've almost covered all the skills. Project 2 is next. Check if skills help. Meeting ends soon. Focus on PowerPoint, colors, tools, animations, shapes, images. Clarify if unclear. We talked about each skill individually. Will they actually help us when we come to do the project or not? That's the important part. So let's go through it quickly because the meeting is about to end. And let's talk about the project. Is there any point from these that isn't clear? Of course, we're not explaining PowerPoint in full. We're highlighting the most important skills that you should have when working with PowerPoint, like colors, some tools, animations, some shapes, and images. These are just the essential things you should have. If there's anything among them that's not clear, we can clarify it. The most important skills that you should have when working with PowerPoint are colors, some tools, animations, some shapes, and images. These are just the essential things you should have. If there's anything among them that's not clear, we can clarify it.